Hi, everybody. It's Jen at Pursuit 365. Today, tables are turned. I'm interviewing the lovely Steph Purdy. Hey, Steph.
Hey, Jen, how are ya?
I'm good. I'm loving that sign behind you. So,
Like
you're
that?
at your fabulous, fabulous sandwich shop that's located in beautiful Point Edward, Ontario. What's the name
It's
of your shop?
our shop is called Red and Co, but the Co is with the K-O.
So, tell me
So
about that.
so red. So I'm still hanging on to a little bit of my red hair.
And it looks
Um,
fabulous.
so yes, I'm the Red of Red and Co, and then And is Andy, who's my son, and then Co is my husband. His last name is Hopko, Hopko. So we're a little bit different that way, and that's where the name came from.
Okay, so I've known you for like what, a year now, and I never knew that. So that's awesome. I always think, why is it that way, and why can I never find her in my emails?
Well, there you go. You just that quick. I
Red
never
and
know.
go. I know it's opposite of what we're used to. That's why.
There
I
we go.
know. So you started the business. I'm going to do one thing. I'm going to give my dog a piece of pumpkin, okay, because he's going to be a pain otherwise. And I want you to tell us when you started the business and how it came about.
Okay, so Red and Co. We opened February of 2020. Who knew that that would be literally 3 weeks before? Actually, it's funny we say 3 weeks BC. The new BC is before COVID. So yeah, end of February 2020, and we opened for 3 weekends, and then we all know what happened. And so we ended up closing for a few weeks. We never really had to, but we didn't know what was going on. So we closed for 3 weekends, and then we've been open ever since. Now, we are we're unique in a lot of ways. We are only open Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. And I've actually had a few people ask me, like, why are you only open 3 days a week?
Like me
And
just now.
well, my answer was literally because then it's fun. Because too often in business, we let the world dictate to us what we need to do. And to me, that was one of the gifts that COVID gave us is, to really be able to pull back and look at things different. And for me, this is a creative outlet. I used to be a figure skater, so I got a lot of my creativity out on the ice,
Yeah.
as a skater. And then later through coaching, I loved choreography. So food has always been that creative outlet for me. And I used to do the food aspect in my family's business. And now I do food in my own business.
Steph isn't talking about it, but she's kind of from an iconic family in Sarnia, which is in southwestern Ontario, which is right on Lake Huron and St. Clair River. And we have amazing, amazing lake fish, I guess you would say, right? Whitefish. So Steph worked with her family, but now she's branched out to do even bigger and better things. So this is important. So everybody's like, okay, so it's a sandwich shop in Point Edward. It's not just a sandwich shop. It's like amazing soup and sandwiches, but you have a secret weapon within your company, and what is it?
Do you mean these things?
Yeah.
I just happen to have some sitting right beside me. So these are our savory and spicy pretzels, and we literally have people that aren't sandwich eaters that just come to buy pretzels. They're highly addictive. They're sold at a couple of our local craft breweries, and you can't just eat one, like not at all.
You
So
can't. But the good thing about those is that you sell them in a refillable way, right?
we do have a canister that you can bring in, and we refill for you. So anything packaging wise, or if you bring your own container in as well, then we're happy to fill that if you want to save on packaging and all the rest.
So I think it's important because this is where this is where our community and our members need to understand that it's not just a book. The book is the perk. The beautiful magazine, the digital magazine that launched today, that was a perk for the people that came back the second year. But you now have connections across Canada from Nova Scotia to Vancouver Island. So I guess what you want to do really is distribute those across Canada.
That is definitely a dream that we are working on, and I really do believe that they can be their own thing. We're working on new packaging right now. We're working on a label design. We're getting the nutrition facts all buttoned up, and we started here locally with a few craft breweries. These were originally created for friends of ours that own a vineyard out in BC, because who knew that spicy pretzels, tightrope, they're up on the Naramata bench. Graham and Lindsay O'Rourke.
Amazing wine from Naramata. Oh my gosh.
Right? Absolutely. Oh. Yeah, they're in prime wine country. They had an apple orchard that they converted to a vineyard. 7 years they waited. And this is what's so cool too, when you get behind the scenes of businesses and see, what it takes and where the passion comes from and all the rest. But our shtick here at Red & Co is different, doing things different. And I've always, I think being a redhead, I've always been different. And, I've always kind of been the lone wolf and kind of wanting to march to my own drum. So with these pretzels, everybody thinks pretzels and beer, but nobody thinks pretzels and wine. And they had a particular wine. We were doing pairings for them. And
what was
it? They're Viognier. And they said that
oh my God, my favorite white.
Right, paired beautifully with spicy food. So I was like, why not pretzels? And yeah, so that's where these were originally, long before Red & Co was even in existence. We were making these pretzels, and so they most definitely had to be part of our brand once we opened. And a fun little story. So we do things different here. We don't do ham, cheese, and mustard. Not that there's anything wrong with ham, cheese, and mustard, but we try to create things here that you would never make at home. I can pretty confidently say any sandwich you get here, you've never eaten anywhere else before. So having our pretzels be a thing for over a year, we were working on trying to create a sandwich on a pretzel bun that incorporated our secret pretzel seasoning. And we just recently were able to offer that sandwich as a special.
Which one is it?
It doesn't have a name yet. We're still working on the name, but it was a pretzel bun that was grilled. Our pretzel seasoning was brushed on it. We used grilled Genoa salami and grilled mortadella, and then roasted red peppers, arugula tossed in our house vinaigrette, and then a little bit of our panini spread, which has a bit of sweetness, went on the top bun. So you got a little bit of,
it's German and Italian, like my son.
Well, you got spicy and salty on the bottom. You got a little bit of sweet on the top, and that's really woven into a lot of our sandwiches. I'm a sweet and salty girl. Mm-hmm. Even our house Rice Krispie squares, we put Ruffles chips in them.
Oh, really?
We want the sweet and salty. So yeah, little bit different and oh so delicious.
Now I have to try those too.
Well, yeah, there you go. Exactly. Something else to put on your list, Jen.
So yeah, I can attest that the food at her. Oh my God, my dog has a piece of pumpkin, and this is going to be the end of it.
Oh, Tucker.
I'm going to make dog cookies today. Maybe that's something you can add to the repertoire.
Oh,
so with your shop, so you tell a story about your family, how the Red & Co name came to be.
Well, the Red & Co name actually was birthed by my husband, Mike. So we were down in North Carolina visiting our friends, actually Sean Pete, who's in this latest book. And hopefully I'll be bringing him on here for a future Talk Wednesday, so stay tuned. Sean is a NASCAR pit crew coach that I met years ago. I was, as I mentioned earlier, skating coach in my previous life. And Sean and I ran hockey schools together for years. And I coached him a little bit at the end of his hockey career. anyway, we've stayed friends, and we were down visiting him, and Mike and I, it's interesting how when you travel and you get out of your environment, how the creative downloads come. And it was like, hey, if we're going to get serious about doing this sandwich thing, it needs a name. And we started spitballing all sorts of things, from nicknames to food analogies to whatever. And then when Mike came out with, Red and Co, and he said with the KO for Hopco, it was like, that was it. It was done. And it was interesting because at that point too, the creative download came with our space as well. Because this space that I'm in was literally a white box. It was a white box. And now you can see, if I pivot this way, see how we have this beautiful red wall with our other mural there. So the mural's done by a local artist. She did the other mural. So I was able to see, okay, and then that wall will be red. And
I'm going to remove myself, Steph, so you can give us a tour.
Oh.
Okay.
All right. Oh boy, how do I do this? I think I need to walk this way and go here. I think if I come back to the front, and then you can see over my shoulder. So it's just a very, very small space. We're takeout only, and you just come in and you go to the back of the room. The signs above me here, those were done by Chrissy McRoberts, who was in the first Pursuit 365 book. She also built all of our shelving and our counter and all the things. So yeah, it's just a fun little spot that you come in, you come down to the far end here, and you place your order with us, and then just work your way back to the front. We carry a array of snacks and like food items. I'm a foodie at heart. We have like fun popcorn snacks. We have fun tortilla chips. So just a little go-to spot when you're looking for something fun and flavorful.
Talk about the tortilla chips.
So the tortilla chips are from a small family-run business out of Aylmer, Ontario.
Okay.
They're scratch-made, and they come in an array of flavors. The most popular flavor, believe it or not, are dill pickle. The dill pickle ones, we made nachos at home not too long ago, and it was like eating a cheeseburger.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
They need to be in the book so everybody knows about them. Oh my God. Like,
right?
They're addictive. They're like the pretzels that you make.
Yes.
They're so good.
That's right. You can't eat one. So tortilla chips, the ground beef, some cheese on top, some chopped up bell pepper into the oven. Boom. Yum.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Well, and I have to give a plug too for the little popcorn company. We just started carrying this popcorn, and I would love to get her in the book. I've never met her, but I would love to get her in the book. And this is the beauty, right, of when you hear these stories, and hopefully will stimulate you and your brain to maybe think of someone that you could reach out to in your network to invite them into this beautiful community. But the popcorn line we carry is called Comeback Snacks. And the gal that owns that company, she unfortunately got herself into a bad relationship and ended up being a drug mule for a guy, ended up incarcerated and did jail time. And it turns out that when you do jail time, the one snack that you get is popcorn. And apparently, like you get bored eating popcorn. Okay. So yeah. They started to create interesting flavors, or what else can I pour on my popcorn to make it taste different or to make it taste more interesting. And then as a result of that, she created this popcorn company. So she has flavors like lemon meringue and peanut butter and jelly.
Wow.
Yeah, chocolate sea salt caramel. And it's so delicious. And this was her comeback story. And she also helps other people that have found themselves down and out. She helps them through her business model. So how can you not support an entrepreneur like that,
Where
right?
is she located?
She's, I believe, in the Hamilton, Brantford, something like that
Do you have
area.
a picture of her popcorn container? Just so we can see it. Oh, love it.
So
Okay,
what's
coming for
cool?
some.
So see how she's got like almost like a little prison jumpsuit on?
I was going to say she's like a little jailbird in her picture.
Yeah, so just such a unique and interesting story, and that's what I love too about being in here. So here's another product we sell. So this is called Bliss Blast,
Okay.
and this is a hot sauce. Okay, so the gentleman behind this line is a personal friend. I met him back in my fish days. So he actually bought trout roe from us, and so I love to get to know who I deal with, who I feed. I love to build personal relationships. So his name is Steve Stallard, and Steve's very first product was this one. So it's a bourbon aged maple syrup.
Oh.
Beautiful bottle. Anyway, so he does this aged maple syrup. And if you know Steve at all, he was a Michelin star caliber chef,
Okay.
but he hated kitchens, and he's a real entrepreneur at heart. And so he wanted to start his own business. So this was his very first product. So this, started selling like gangbusters. And then fast forward a few years, he developed a few other products. But then the craft brewery scene started, and Grand Rapids is where he's based in Michigan. And Founders Brewery opened in Michigan, and they developed a relationship. So a few years later, Founders said, "Hey, Steve, can we get those barrels from you? Can we get your bourbon maple barrels?" So he sent them to
Oh,
Founders.
wow.
They started making a beer in them.
Oh my gosh, it'd be amazing.
Fast forward a couple years, Steve gets a creative download, and he asks Founders for the barrels back. Well, that's where Bliss Blast comes from. So Bliss Blast is his hot sauce that he ages in the same bourbon maple beer barrels.
Wonder what's going to happen next. There's got to be like a continuation on that one, eh?
Well, then this is next. So then comes
Oh.
the steak sauce. So the steak sauce gets done in the same barrel. So like, how fun is that, right? So I'm making your sandwich and I'm telling you a story, and so how can you not take a bottle of this home with you? That's what I love.
What's the price point on those, Steph?
What's that?
What's the price point on those?
Oh, of course you're going to ask me that. I don't know.
Around-ish.
I think the syrup's around 20 and the other two sauces are around 10.
Okay, perfect. I want to try the steak sauce. I bet you that'd be great.
It's just, again,
all of it would be great. That the bourbon syrup would be good in like dressings and that, right?
Oh, absolutely. And it's the thing too that, goes on the table for Christmas, because it's prettier, it's a little more special, a little more elevated.
Yeah.
Slightly different flavor with the bourbon coming through, and a story that you can tell to your guests. 'Cause we all unite around stories. And that's, again, talk about a full circle moment. That's what's so beautiful about Pursuit 365 is how Shelley's given us this platform to tell our story, and how stories resonate with other people, and it just really helps connect us all, and I think it's really special.
And this year, the ability to tell your business story, which a lot of people like because they don't want to talk about their personal lives. So this makes it even like a little bit more special that people can talk about. This is how my business was created or where it came from. Like, oh my gosh, your girl from Hamilton would be perfect, eh? What a story! Like, what a story!
Exactly. And it's that true underdog story, and it's proof that we don't need special degrees, we don't need certain certifications. You just have to have a passion for things, and I feel that, like for years, it was like, I want to do something else in food. I want to do something else in food. And I just couldn't shake it. But I was in my late 40s at that time. And it's like, oh, I own another business. And, did I want to take on more? And I couldn't shake this. I just kept circling back to it. I'd lay awake at night. And I just knew I had to do this. And it's been so fun. We've met so many great people. We really try to get to know our people. And I have a great gal that works with me in here. Her name is Linz. And she is a gem, and she is a people person extraordinaire. I thought I was a people person, but she wipes the floor with me. And we just love to get to know our people. We try to get to know your name. So, we're like cheers here. You walk through the door and we go, Jen, hey, we know
customer service.
We know people's sandwiches that they like. And we know too, through getting to know them, what suggestions to make to them. Or, they come in for their usual, but we know that the sandwich special that day, they'd like. So they trust us that way too, to know that we won't steer them wrong.
Love it. Yeah, well, I've been in there. I've ordered a couple of times. I don't go often enough because the food is like really good. So, Sarnia, believe it or not, to everybody else out there, is a bit of a summer destination because, like I said, we're on Lake Huron, St. Clair River, beautiful beaches, great restaurants. So when you're here, and I've had friends from BC come and visit me, one of the places that you have to go, and especially bring back a whole bunch of pretzels with you. And now you could pick up those. I would like those food items are amazing. And you're right. Cooking is it's an art. It's an art form, 100%. And you have to love it, or else you won't be good at it.
Yeah, that's right. So we really here are. I feel one of the biggest hidden gems in Canada, really. Like Jen, I lived in BC for 13 years. My husband's from BC. And for the first couple of years we were back, well, I was back here, he came with me. People were like, why would you ever leave BC and move here? And if you spend any amount of time here and you look around, it is so beautiful here. It for years was called beautiful blue waterland. And it's so true. We have our water is as blue as the Caribbean. I've been to the Adriatic Sea. I've been on the shores of the Adriatic in Croatia. And when I looked out at the sunset, it was no different than looking out at the sunset out my back door.
And living in BC, I didn't like going in the ocean as much as I like going in the lake. The lake is clean and it's salt free, and it's like any friends that have come here with the sandbars, especially, it's like, oh my God, like this is spectacular.
Absolutely. And the other thing that we love about it here too is we're such a central hub. We get the beauty of the small town, where, there's a coffee shop that I love to go to where like they know me, and, there's that sense of community, which is so important for me. But when you feel like you need something bigger, we can go either way because we're a border town too. We've got Detroit an hour away, all the suburbs of Detroit.
Somebody said you're an hour from anywhere in the world when you live in Sarnia, right? Because you can go to London Airport or you can go to Detroit Airport, and you can fly anywhere in the world.
That's right. So. Exactly. We got London, we've got Toronto, nothing's far, And I think we're just so lucky that way. And I'm not going anywhere. This is home. This is home. And I hope that we've enticed you just a little bit to come and visit and explore our area. It's pretty cool. There's a number of other co-authors in both books from this area that own fun businesses, and I'd be more than happy to take you on a tour, or at least send you on a tour and help you explore our beautiful area.
Well, that's the beauty of the book. I wouldn't have got to know you if you hadn't been in, one of your friends was in the book, and so on and so on. And now you come and shop at Garbo's with me, and I come over there, and everybody supports everybody. And that's, again, one of the beautiful things about the city. And we have an event on Friday for all the pursuit. No, December 12th is the Pursue 365, the Monday, December 12th. Everybody that's a co-author in this, Southwestern Ontario, I've invited the London, Strathroy, all those ladies as well, and men. And we're going to all get together and meet each other finally after COVID. Nobody met, and have a good time in there. And you're supplying the food, and Garbo's will supply the beverages. So that'll be a fun evening too.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to. There's still a few people I haven't met yet, so I'm looking forward to that. Putting the person behind the name and the profile in the book. That's for sure. So
okay, one last question for everybody that's out there going, okay, so I love those products, but I live in Toronto. How do I get them? Do you ship?
We haven't, but we could. No doubt about it. We'd be more than happy to do that for you. Where there's a will, there's a way. Mm-hmm. I used to ship fresh fish, so there's no reason why I couldn't ship pretzels.
Right? So. Get a FedEx box, put them on their way.
That's right. Exactly. Anything is possible, and yeah, we'd be more than happy to. And actually, it's funny. I had an email come through over the weekend from a lady, and hi, I'm in BC. My parents live in your area. I visited your shop. I love it. Do you have gift cards? I'd love to get one for my parents for Christmas. Can we do this? And I was like, yep, we'll line up a call. I'll just get your credit card over the phone, and I'd be more than happy to drop the card off in your parents' mailbox. So,
yeah, customer service at its finest.
That's right. That's what it's all about. Not an issue whatsoever. So, yeah. So thanks very much, Jen, for having me on today. This has been fun.
Well, and then for everybody else as well, I was doing all the Talk Wednesdays right out the gate, and Steph is now co-hosting, which is fabulous. So if anybody wants to do one, just get a contact with me or with Steph and say, okay, I'd like to be on one of your Talk Wednesdays. And you too can tell everybody about your businesses. So Steph, I'm so glad that we became friends and that you're in the book and that we are able to do things like this. And everybody order the pretzels. You won't be disappointed.
Thanks, Jen. Thank you. And it's been absolutely a pleasure working with you, getting to know you, and you keep me stylish. That's for sure.
Steph and I have the same sweater. Mine's blue. I said to her before the interview, I went, not wearing that today. I know Steph's going to have hers on because we love it.
That's right. It's a beautiful day for it. That's for sure.
Okay. So thanks everybody. This will be posted. What day is this posted, Steph?
This one, we're not sure actually, because maybe, I don't know. I
That's okay. We'll wait for it. It'll be posted soon. We're going to do it like pretty soon so people can have all these great Christmas presents.
There you go.
Okay. We'll talk soon, and everybody have a good day. Bye,
Thanks,
everyone.
Jen.